same way you do email marketing, you could leverage that for text messages. So text message is going to have a higher conversion rate than email, than doing cold calls, than doing direct mail. And when you integrate your DMS data and your CRM data into text campaigns, it is so powerful. And if you want to communicate with Gen Z and millennials, they're spending nearly 4 hours a day on their smartphones. So I'll talk about some of the use cases for text blast marketing. You could literally do service coupons, service reminders, new inventory alerts, if it's allowed in your state, a bird dog for referring a customer, extended warranty follow-ups. If you wanted specific criteria, just target customers who are in an equity position, or just target customers who have bought SUVs in the past 3 years. You could leverage all of that with text blast marketing. And then if you're going to do marketing, you need to track your data. You need to track your analytics. And when you look at companies like CarMax, they hire data scientists who are just looking at pricing and data. But your average dealer, of course, you don't have those resources. So what are the basic KPIs that every dealership should be aware of? I'm going to start out with cost per lead and cost per sale and give you an example. So if I'm using TrueCar and I spend $1,000 a month with TrueCar, they send me 10 leads. My cost per lead is $100 per lead. If 2 of those leads convert to sales, my cost per sale is $500 per sale. And then what I need to also track is what's the kind of group ROI on all of my lead providers. So if I'm using Cars.com, TrueCar, AutoTrader, Cars for Sale, a couple other third-party lead providers, which ones are working and providing ROI and providing closed deals, and which ones are just providing leads that don't convert to sales. And then what I would also suggest is benchmarking your sales rep in their pipeline. So you look at this sales rep A versus sales rep B, he's losing deals after the F&I stage, but the other sales rep, they have a higher close rate. Why is that? What's the difference between these 2 reps getting similar leads from similar lead providers? And many CRMs have dashboards to track a lot of these KPIs. Another problem that's really big in the industry, a lot of dealers hire a marketing agency to do all of their marketing. And that agency will give a report that looks good for the agency oftentimes. They'll say, wow, we got you 100,000 views and we got you 10,000 clicks. It sounds great on paper, just like in this mirror. This guy thinks, man, I have 100,000 followers. I'm the guy. But the problem is, those are vanity metrics. What is your agency doing? Like, how many sales did they bring? Clicks, impressions are one thing, but conversions to actual sales is what you need to ask. And a lot of times, dealers don't track a lot of their metrics or their marketing on a month-to-month or week-to-week basis. So it's harder to figure out what specific marketing did I do in January that resulted in more sales than March. So don't just look at your marketing on an annual basis, look either a week-to-week or a month-to-month basis. And if you use an agency, make sure they give access to Google Analytics, or if you're using any paid search providers, they give access to that. You don't want just a report, you want to be able to double check yourself and have admin access in those platforms so you have full transparency. And then there's common analytics tools that are very underused, like your CRM and DMS have robust reporting, oftentimes not very utilized. Facebook marketing, they have an ad library where you can see all of your competitors' ads, and you can literally see the ads that they're doing, and that can help you build more compelling ads. And then there's the Google Search Console and Analytics. How much traffic is going to your website? What are the top pages on your website? And then there's some paid tools. Like one tool I really like is Ahrefs. And basically, you can look up all your competitors' websites. They're going to show you the top ranking pages on your competitors' websites. They're going to show you the keywords that your competitors are using to get traffic to their website, like Biker Pay here in San Francisco, for example. And then it's not all around marketing analytics. So linked in my presentation, I have this report from Cox Automotive. They published a list of 12 inventory management metrics every dealership should track. So market day supply, inventory turn rate, recon time, cost to market. So that's also linked in my presentation as well. So Now I'm going to talk about the must-have tech solutions to be competitive in 2023 and beyond. So your DMS, this is the central nervous system for your dealership. It cannot go down on a Saturday. And especially if you have multi-rooftop, having a cloud-based DMS is really helpful. A responsive or adaptive dealer website. Think about how much a month you pay for your physical dealership lot versus how much you're paying for your website. But most consumers, they start their journey online. The first impression they have of your dealership oftentimes is your dealership website. So make sure your dealership website, it pops. That's your first impression. That's your opportunity to captivate that customer and say, hey, we have bilingual sales reps, or we support out-of-state buyers programs, or we have something unique and we have a brand. And depending on your model, maybe a digital retail tool is applicable. A CRM, I've talked a lot about CRM, managing leads, text messaging. Inventory management tool. So one of my favorite guests on my podcast is Bob Hollinshed. And he said, use the inventory management tool, whether it's vAuto, AccuTrade, or another. In this market, making appraisals without data is what he likes to call theft by ignorance. This is kind of new, but AI tools. So both ChatGPT and OpenAI, they have a free version of their product. And it's a great tool to improve your emails, help writing content, do spelling and grammar check. And they're free. And they just make that salesperson a little more professional, a little more efficient. You know, sometimes you get writer's block, hard to write an email. You can leverage these AI tools and just put in a simple prompt. Help improve this email, paste your email in, and it will spit out a potentially improved version of it. Social media presence. So if you're doing advertising on Facebook and you're spending a lot of money, and then someone clicks from that ad to your Facebook page, and your last Facebook post was in 2019, but you're doing Facebook marketing, make sure that you have a Facebook presence to go inside with what you're doing from a marketing standpoint. Having a digital marketing program, whether it's SEO or using different lead providers, you need to exist online. You need to be found online. That's where the battleground is. And the great thing about online is whether you're a large dealership or a small dealership, you can have a great online presence. You don't have to have the most amazing lot in the world. You have to have the most amazing impression when they're shopping online to bring them to your dealership. Email in your own domain. It's $1.99 a month. I cannot tell you how many dealers still have abcmotors@spcglobal.com. Get email at your own domain, and it's also more secure. When you give each of your sales reps their own email and you're not sharing a joint inbox, if someone goes out, they're not going to do anything crazy with your main email because they have their own professional email that you can lock them out of the system. Reputation management software. So if someone gives you a 1-star on Google, are you immediately alerted? What's your set process to get more reviews and to manage your reviews and reputation as a dealership? Text blast marketing. So just like email marketing was big 5 years ago, text blast marketing is big today, and it's going to hit the consumer where they use most of their time their smartphone. Compliant text messaging. So fines range from $500 to $1,500 for not sending opt-ins and not being compliant with texting. If you Google TCPA texting guidelines, you can see a lot of information about compliant texting. FTC safeguard and compliance management. So of course this summer FTC safeguard rules went into effect. So there are platforms out there that can help dealers. I think CompliantNet's one of them that's here today. So that's something worth considering. And then bring millennials and Gen Z into your dealership. They get technology. They understand social media. They could add a ton of value. And it's a tough economy, and young people are looking for jobs, and they could add tremendous value to your dealership. And be data-driven. Track your KPIs, your cost per lead, your cost per sale, what your marketing investment is yielding in terms of sales. So to recap some of the takeaways from today's presentation, I've talked about all of the disruption going on in the auto industry. I've talked about niches and customer buying experience, digital retail, omni-channel, CRM, must-have tech solutions. So I hope everyone here walks away with 1 or 2 things that are actionable that they could implement into their dealership. So now I wanted to have a couple Starbucks gift cards giveaways and then field some questions. So the way the Starbucks gift card question is going to go, I'm going to ask questions. First person to raise their hand, I call on. If they have the right answer, they're going to get a Starbucks gift card. So first question, text messaging has X% read rate versus X% with emails.
That's a 60, email 6.
So that was response rate. Almost there.
Text 6%, email 1%.
Adam?
75-20.
That's correct. So you'll get a card after that. Next question.
I'll donate it back.
What is omni-channel in the context of automotive retail?
Starting online, finishing at the store.
I'll take that. All right, so now I want to answer your questions. I want to hear your thoughts. This part's going to be Q&A. So any questions? Bueller?
For the video example that you had for, maybe her name was Alyssa?
Elise Kepper.
Oh, Elise. In what context would you post a video, or how would you use that video?
Sure. So what she would do, whenever she would get an internet lead, she would see the customer's information, John Smith, interested in 2002 Toyota Highlander. She'd get her webcam out. Hey, John Smith, thanks for sending your inquiry. I saw that you're interested in that, 2002, blah, blah, blah. And then she would respond via email with that YouTube link. So customer gets their internet lead inquiry response, and she has a custom video. So instead of a canned plain text email response, she's actually giving them a custom video, and she was selling Hondas in California, which is very saturated. So that's how she differentiated herself as a sales professional.
Okay, so it's more of an individualized message for somebody who inquired.
You could also create a video that's more generic. So if you wanted to have a generic email lead responder and you had a video and you're like, hi, I'm Zach, I'm the general manager at ABC Motors. Here's why our dealership's different. We do a 120-point inspection on every car we get. We have bilingual sales reps that speak Spanish. Some dealers use that video as like an overview of who their dealership is. And that's like a single generic video that can be used multiple times.
Okay.
So those would be like two use case examples. Other questions?
Text
What's the difference between a regular email for the company and is that a personal email?
Well, what I meant by that is you see a lot of dealerships and they'll have like abcmotors@gmail.com and 5 sales reps share that single email and all of the internet leads, all the communications in that one email. But if someone wanted to do something nefarious, like change the password to that account because they're mad because they're about to get fired, they have your account now. So if you give people individual accounts, like every sales rep has their own account, you can easily lock them out of the system and you have that extra protection. And it also adds the extra sense of professionalism because dealership gets a response and it's an ABC Motors domain. They click abcmotors.com, they see your website, whereas if it's Yahoo, you're like, it's just an extra sense of professionalism.
And you go with the Gmail.
Well, Gmail, Microsoft, like they all do their own business emails. There are a ton of providers out there. I think they're all like Gmail for business versus Microsoft for business, very similar products. But we use Gmail, at our company for business. Other questions?
Can you hit me with your answer for omni-channel experience?
So when I think about omni-channel experience, I think about meeting the customer the way they want to buy. So if the customer wants to just shop 100% online, that's one offering. If they want to start the transaction online and then come to the dealership, that's another offering. Or if they just want to come to the dealership and do nothing online, that's another offering. So meeting the customer in the way that they want to buy.
On the email that we talked about, mydomain.com, and each individual has their own email address.
Yep.
Is there a common one? Typically, at the lockdown.
Yeah.
Does everything come to a general email?
So the way it works, like if you have a business email set up, you as the owner, right, would have an admin account, and you could add users under that, users at your domain. Let's just say it's ABC Motors. So you have John at ABC Motors, Zach at ABC Motors, Kyle at ABC Motors. You as the admin, if you want to just lock someone out of the system, hey, we're letting go of Kyle tomorrow, suspend access, and they're out. So that's basically how it works. Other questions?
You had